Hi.
Hi.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jill. And we're HipStrings.
Welcome to day 8 of the Base12 Spinalong for 2024. Thank you very much, everybody who joined yesterday and gave us all those wonderful likes. And thank you to whoever gave us the 1 like that we have now already. Why don't you go ahead and share what you're spinning today, and I'll go ahead.
So this is the third bat. This is Old Man and the Sea. Nick will have to give me the fiber key so I can tell you exactly what's in it.
Sorry, I rolled a 6 and I couldn't tell which bag was a 6 and which was a 9. So
okay,
give me a second.
So it is 65% merino wool, 15% tussa silk, 10% mulberry silk, 5% mulberry fleece, not mulberry fleece, merino fleece, and 5% Erie silk.
I want to know what mulberry fleece is now. And I think I spun that on day 2.
Yeah, you
I remember I had it very early on. And so I'm spinning Grey's Anatomy, which was day 6, 65% merino, 15% tussa silk, 10% mulberry silk, 5% Erie silk, and 5% Cormo X fleece, which, as we remember, we don't know who the daddy is. Joanne says, so pretty. I assume she's talking about you.
I think she's talking about the fiber.
Oh, maybe that.
Or you.
All right. Oh, this is weird because I've gotten 2 grays in a row.
Yeah.
So this will
look at you checking which direction to spin your bat bit from.
It seems very much like I'm being responsible, but I think this is the second time I've done it in the entire spin along. So Amy says happy Thursday, fiber friends, and Joanne says LOL.
I was going to increase my speed today in the hopes that I can
catch up. Well, you did beat me one day.
Yeah, I think you let me.
No comment. So we went bowling today.
Well, you went bowling. I watched.
Right. And had a holiday party. I wore my T-Rex birthday present sweater at that time, and I was one of 2 people wearing
Christmas present.
Yes. What?
I guess.
Oh, I said birthday present?
Yes. I guess maybe the T-Rex could have his birthday on Christmas.
He could have.
That does happen.
Anyway, T-Rex present. Doesn't matter what season it's for. The fact that he's wearing a Santa hat has no importance whatsoever, because T-Rexes like to wear all sorts of hats. Anyway,
and T-Rexes existed before Christmas.
How dare you? It was funny because there was one other person wearing a
ugly Christmas sweater.
Didn't you say no sweaters are ugly? I was trying to figure out a different word for ugly Christmas sweater.
A festive Christmas sweater.
There you go. And the fact that it had a little present pocket is what took the cake. The president of the company made comments on he's like, oh, I don't know which one is worse. And I said, well, I got a little pocket here for holding my beer. And he said, oh, yeah, yours is definitely worse. So I feel a little bit bad because that was also the guy I beat out on the baking competition.
He's just got to step it up.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm around. Anyway, Michelle says, hey. And I'm running behind. Got to get my wheel set up. Yay, bowling. I was terrible. I'm bad at bowling, but I was especially bad tonight.
Did you guys get beat by the 9-year-old?
Yes. Both me and Adrian got beaten by the 9-year-old. Adrian has an excuse. He's bowled twice before, maybe only once before.
Yeah.
I have no excuse. Now, to be fair, Chris had bumpers on. Maybe I should have had bumpers on.
He's 9. And this is his second time bowling. I don't even know if he bowled last year.
No, yeah, I think this was his first actual time bowling.
Yeah.
I got a score of 50? No, I'm bad. I'm real bad. I don't know what it is.
And you didn't even win at laser tag?
Yeah, I didn't win at laser. Well, that's because I didn't suit up because I was wearing a festive sweater.
Well, see, now you know. You have to suit up when you play laser tag.
One must suit up to play laser tag.
And Adrian came in right behind you.
Yeah, he did.
Laser tag.
Chris was partly suited up, and He came in much far behind me.
And he did much better on bowling, though.
Yeah. Maybe I should have just suited him. Okay. Next year, festive suiting up.
Yes. Festive suits do exist.
I know. Now I have to get one of those really bad, like, green patterned.
I'll have an eye out for one.
All right. When it's on sale.
When it's on sale after Christmas.
Kayla says, I saw it happen. It was embarrassing. I'm guessing is what the emoji is there. Yeah, no. Thanks, Kayla. So, that's how we spent our evening. Oh, and then we also went and bought
teacher gifts.
Teacher gifts, which
I gave the kids the responsibility of choosing teacher gifts this year.
Well, but then they were all like,
but
oh
then
my
they
God.
finally like all got into it, because when I was like, do you want me to handle things? Who do you want to buy gifts for? They're like, nah. And then I was just like, we're going to Target. Here's your budget per teacher. Go crazy.
Well, I think the thing that really broke the seal on their creativity was you were talking about how the teachers are all used to our kids being just odd. In a good way. And we were going around the holiday decoration section, and they had these adorable stuffed penguins with tiny little knit hats and knit scarves, and they were $10. And we were like, all right, let's get a bunch of these for the teachers. And the
there was kind of we can do that.
The kids were like, we could do that? Wait a minute. All right, now I've got ideas. So like Gab ended up getting a bunch of tiny, the poly bag Lego sets for their teachers that they like. We got a couple of the penguins. Yeah, that was it. That was fun though. Mm-hmm. All right, what else? What else is going on in our lives?
Well, the kids have their last day of school tomorrow.
Last day of school tomorrow. Not last day of Base12.
No.
Far from it. Now I'm actually curious if the rest of the stuff that I have is just going to be gray. That's going to be very odd.
No, there's
Okay.
not. I think you've spun all the gray.
Okay. It was just the fact that it's 2 in a row is weirding me out still. I was back on that topic.
Yeah. There's like 3 grays. So there's like one more gray, but it has pops of blue.
Okay.
So.
Surprise, surprise. Blue.
Surprise, surprise.
So we need an audience participation question because we didn't do that.
Well, we need to talk about our sweaters first.
Oh yes, we do need to do that. Well, what we usually do is ask the question, give people a chance to type it out,
Okay.
and then we talk about our sweaters.
Okay.
I say as if we've done this for a lot of times.
I have a question.
Okay.
Does anybody have a dream wheel, whether or not you actually have it, or if it's something you are aspiring to?
Or if it even doesn't exist.
Or if it doesn't exist.
If there's something that you're looking for in a wheel that, like, you really wish somebody would make.
Yeah.
I'm not doing any corporate research or anything. So yeah, type in the comments anything you have about wishes on wheels. And then we can talk about the sweaters, as Donna is also requesting. So, you want to talk about your sweater?
My sweater is a Carbeth by Kate Davies. It's with Buoy Decay, the first edition, held double. I think in the mist, either mist or calm. I think this is calm colorway.
And what about mine?
Nick's sweater is an Elizabeth Zimmerman hybrid saddle shoulder. And I think my first mashup. So it's mostly Falkland, but there's also some Rambouillet and Targhee in there.
It's so nice. And this is another one that you made a tiny version for the kids too.
Yes,
you had
that
extra from your compost
that
bin.
one is even older than your Rambouillet sweater.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was newer.
No.
Okay. I believe you. But Is this the one that you combo spinned for, where we made the podcast about combo spinning?
No.
No.
That was the sweater I gave away this past weekend to Heather.
Oh, okay. All right.
It might be time for another great mashup spin along.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you've heard it here first. All right, we've got some responses. First up, also, Lenora is saying last day of work tomorrow, so yay for that. Same for me. And, okay, Becky wants a wheel with autocorrect. So I'm kind of curious, is it because you want to type while spinning and you want the autocorrect on the typing, or do you want autocorrect on the spinning?
You could have a camera and be like, here's an inconsistency, here's a beep.
Well, that's error detection. That's not autocorrect.
Yeah.
Right? That would have to be like something that, this is interesting. The engineer in my mind is going like, obviously it's got to be somewhat possible. I'm going to have to think about that one. Christina Hill says, my dream wheel is any actual treadle wheel. I only have an E wheel right now. If I choose one right now, I'm looking at a Kromsky Sonata. Are you familiar with the Kromskys?
Yeah.
I'm not. Tell me about them.
I mean, I have friends who really enjoy their Kromskys. They're made in Poland.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's all you know?
That's all I know. I think the Sonata has Delrin bearings, which are
very good.
Delrin bearings are a good thing.
Delrin bearings are very nice. It's a type of very hard plastic, but it's very smooth, and it holds on to oil very well.
It has very low friction.
Yeah. Let's see. Roseanne says, I think I would like to have a Hanson Pro e-spinner. I tried one out before Thanksgiving, and it was so nice.
Yeah.
Have you tried a Hanson Pro?
I have not. I have friends who have Hanson Pros. And on paper, okay. Full disclosure. I once had a Hanson mini spinner. Years and years ago. I owned it for 3 months and then I sold it. I'm not super fond of e-spinners because of the way I spin. I want more control over my speed. I totally get why some people love their e-spinners. They are great tools for lots of spinners. I still have a couple. I have an Electric Eel 6. I have a Dayless Falcon. They are both great wheels. They just are not well suited for how I spin. It's a me problem, not the wheel problem.
Well, if I remember correctly, Hanson does have the option for an analog pedal.
No.
No?
Turns out not.
Oh, okay.
There was a time where they had some marketing that suggested that they did. And no, it keeps on changing. I checked the website and I was like, so is this actually a thing? No. So they have the like dead man foot pedal.
Okay. It's a dead man foot pedal, so you just take your foot off and, oh my gosh. Talk about getting a twist in your fiber supply.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, I did not mean to accidentally start some core spinning.
All right. Sorry, I seem to have distracted you.
You go over there, Fiber. How about we move my maiden so it's not near my fiber supply?
By the way, Amy says that she's knit the Easy sweater with Noro, and it's one of her most worn.
It's a great sweater construction. I just knit one for Gab.
Okay, and I had a slub because I was not paying attention to what I was doing.
Well, I was over here being exciting.
You're always exciting.
More exciting than normal.
Okay, that's fair. Oh my gosh, I'm going thick and thin all over the place here. All right. Okay, it's good. It'll work out in the end.
But the Mini Spinner Pro has a more powerful motor. So the version I had could not go up to the speeds I wanted. And my problem was mostly that when it was up at those speeds, it tended to walk. Unless it was, and they've fixed some of that.
Yeah, with the Pro.
Yeah.
Lenora says she thinks she has her dream herd.
Lenore does have a very nice herd.
Yeah. And I always love the use of herd as it relates to multiple wheels.
Why would wheels not be flock animals?
I am down with it. Like I had never considered that to be the case, but I love it, and it makes me happy every time I hear it. Joanne says, I'm spinning on my first wheel, an Ashford Joy. I'm using the Jumbo Flyer, as the Jumbo Bobbin will hold all of this fiber, but it's intended for art yarn, and I hate that part of it. So why do you hate that part of it, the overly sized orifice? Because it is possible to obtain or make an orifice reducer.
Which reduces some of that vibration.
Yeah, so like you can, one of those big problems is you get a lot of vibration if your orifice is too large, and so you can just make it so that the orifice ends up being much smaller if you don't need the size. If you have access to a 3D printer, I actually have a design up on Thingiverse, but there's also a couple
That's for the
of
shacked one.
It's for the shack. It might fit.
It depends. I don't know what the size of the orifice is on the Ashford.
If it doesn't work out, you can. There may be some other ones out there, or you can send me some measurements and we can talk. So maybe that'll help out. Diane says, I don't know what else I'd like in a wheel. I'm sure if I tried more wheels, I would find one I love. A wheel that plied on its own would be nice. I've actually thought a little bit about, like, the plying aspect. If I could just
I think you could do it with some rollers.
Yeah, I don't even think you need some rollers. With some good machine vision, you could set an angle of twist and.
Yeah, but rollers would be good for tension.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's what industrial pliers do.
Yeah. Donna says, I would like to spin on a Magicraft Rose. I've heard lots of good comments about that wheel. What would you like to say about that, Jill?
I'm currently spinning on a Magicraft Rose. I have to say it is actually quite different to spin on than my other Magicrafts because it's a rim-weighted wheel instead of being a solid wheel. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know if you've noticed, it takes a little bit more work to get it going in the right direction. Because that's always kind of the case with heavier rim-weighted wheels. But once they're going, they like to continue going. Which is great for some types of spinning. It's not actually my preferred drive wheel design.
Well, you've talked about, like, when you're spinning cotton, for example, you need a really responsive wheel.
I need a wheel that I can stop on a dime, and a rim-weighted wheel is that's heavy is not that. My Jensen is a rim-weighted wheel. It has the half spokes, but it's a cherry wheel. So for being a 30-inch wheel, it's not very heavy.
Not very heavy, okay.
I've spun on other Saxonies with heavier drive wheels, and I don't like spinning on them because they have too much momentum. Other people enjoy that because they feel like they get into a rhythm and the wheel is more consistent.
Well, there's also, I mean, it depends again on what you're spinning.
It depends on what you're spinning.
So this is why I love this question. I love all the answers we're getting because, if you're going to something that you want to add a lot of twist and you want to have that consistency, a rim-weighted wheel is perfect.
Or if you're spinning longer staple wools.
Yeah.
Like, I am strongly of the opinion that there is this relationship between the tools we use for spinning, the fiber we use for spinning, and the spinners themselves, and our techniques. And those three things all need to work together for the best spinning experiences.
I mean, in the end, if you are unhappy with a product, you could be using the wrong tool. Mm-hmm. Could be the supply is bad.
Yeah, your materials.
Or it might not be matched with your
skills,
particular skill set, right? And so there's ways to fix all of those things. Either doing different pre-prep for the supply, learning new skills, or
but I know plenty of spinners that spin on wheels that I would probably throw out of a window before finishing a bobbin.
Right. So finding a tool that works well for you is the most important
And
thing.
I've spun on some wheels that have really great reputations, and they're just not for me.
Joanne says, I would love a jumbo flyer for the Joy with a normal flyer / orifice. Yeah, so a orifice reducer is the perfect thing.
Yep.
Becky says, I am still a newish spinner. Lots of dull moments that I wish I could take back as soon as they happen. I mean, you saw what I was doing when I had like a big
Those
big
moments
slump.
still happen to very experienced spinners.
Yeah. Did you call me a very experienced spinner?
Yes.
Aw, thank you. Joanne says, I have a Hanson Pro and I love it for plying. I like a treadle wheel for spinning, but the Pro has 8-ounce bobbins, so bigger. Nice. Yeah, and I you actually at one point in time early on, you were like, yeah, I prefer to spin on my my treadle wheels, but an e-spinner was very nice for doing plying.
A big
You've
part of
changed
why
that
I
now,
have,
right?
well,
But-
no. When it still comes to plying 2-ply yarns, I'll go for an e-spinner. I absolutely hate plying 2-ply yarns on treadle wheels.
Why is that?
It just takes forever, and it's so boring.
But what about an e-spinner makes it less boring or makes it take less time?
I mean, so I love my Falcon for going fast, and it's great for plying 2-ply cotton, though it only has 2-ounce bobbins, which is a bit of a limitation.
Ooh.
But I love the speed it gets up to. And if I didn't feel like it was silly to spend almost $2,000 on an e-spinner just to ply 2-ply yarns, that I barely ever make 2-ply yarns, I would get an e-spinner just to ply 2-ply yarn.
Well,
But it feels kind of frivolous.
yeah, I kind of agree with you. Maybe we can see
But-
about.
For you guys, most of my spinning is all 3-ply. I very rarely, like maybe once a year, make a 2-ply yarn. So the return on investment would be very low.
Well, now I'm wondering, like, with all this talk, maybe there is a market for just a plying machine. Maybe that'll be my next project after this Sharky is done and out.
There was somebody who had a business making beaded yarns, and their husband had made a machine that just plied yarns, like
yeah?
already spun, like singles
Yeah.
together
Yeah,
to make custom yarns.
interesting.
So, I mean, and there's industrial machines that do that. So,
So Jean says, I'm late to the party tonight, and wow, how do I get more days 7 and 8, please?
so for day 7, you contact me through email, shop@hipstrings.com, or a DM, Instagram, Facebook. Actually, I hate Facebook Messenger for the business.
Instagram is good.
Instagram is good. Shopify, the contact on the website is also good. And I will do some custom dyeing of that on any of my fibers or yarns. And for 8, I have one more bat to make, and I will have all the hand-carded bats that are part of Base 12 available on a made-to-order basis up for sale on the website at the end of Base 12.
Specifically hipstrings.com, not the Etsy site.
Yes. All the made-to-order stuff is all at hipstrings.com.
And that's because Etsy punishes you for taking a little bit too long.
Yeah. There is some stuff that goes on Etsy, but please, I like having more money, and Etsy takes a lot in fees.
Amy says, I have no idea what my dream whale is, but I'm extremely happy with what I have now. A Lentrum, Daedalus Starling, and a Daedalus Sparrow, acquired in that order.
I mean, that's a pretty good setup.
It is. Also, she said, I was sure I wanted a Hanson Pro. Turns out the Starling is very similar.
Yes.
Makes me happy for less money.
Yep, I would agree.
Joanne says the jumbo flyer on the Joy has a large circular hook as opposed to an orifice.
Oh. I could see why you don't like that. A lot of Magikrafts come standard with what's called a delta orifice, which is like a triangle of wire.
Yeah.
And I can't stand those type of...
That's a lot of wobble.
It's a lot of wobble. I can't stand those type of... not really orifices, but...
Well, it
turning point.
Much easier to get your yarn in.
Yes.
Which is the reason to do it.
Yes.
But...
The Magikraft does... They have this weird pigtail.
I think that's what she's talking about as well for this.
No, it's an actual, like, hook.
Okay.
It doesn't have the
I'll have to
spiral.
look it up. Okay.
Yeah. The Magikraft design is pretty good, and it reduces vibration. It doesn't rotate at a single point. It's going in a circle.
Interesting.
So it has a bit of wobble.
Well, now I kind of want to make a 3D printed thing just to fix that. Like, I might try to do this just out of stubbornness. I'll have to look up some photos, see if I have an idea. Okay. Cross Melina says, I love my Kromsky Symphony. Donna says, so what second wheel would you suggest to go along with the Lendrum? What are you spinning?
Yeah. What do you like to spin?
What do you like about the Lendrum? What do you not like about the Lendrum? I think probably one of the best things to do.
So the thing I always hear about Lendrums, the big complaint is that the jumbo flyer is kind of useless.
Okay.
I don't hear a lot of people who use the jumbo flyer on the Lendrum. So it'd be a wheel that has a good jumbo flyer. And honestly, the best jumbo flyer I like is the Magikraft one. And I actually love the Magikrafts because switching up different flyers for different setups for doing lace versus normal versus a jumbo and even like the high speed head are not only easy to make those different like changes, but also kind of affordable. Most of the flyers are around $100, and you can really change like what the capability and fine tune your wheel. So as far as like versatility, like I really like my Magikrafts. There's a reason why we have 3 of them, and I wouldn't say no to having more.
And you are not a Magikraft dealer.
No,
so.
I'm not. And they're also, for the most part, flyer-led wheels, which is not my favorite, but I still spin on them a lot because, I don't know, I really like them.
Jean says, is it okay to ask, and would you be willing to post the names of your knitted garments, as most of them are from hand-spun, and I want to knit more hand-spun items?
Sure. I will try to add that to the comments for each day and write down what are garments.
Yeah, you're going to have to go back on...
Yeah, I'll have to go back.
Watch them, but... Yeah, give us a couple of days.
I've taught classes on knitting with handspun because I think it's really important as spinners to actually use your yarn. And even the stuff that you think is not great, because you will learn more about how you need to change your yarn by using it than just by looking at it. Because a lot of my early stuff before I started really knitting with my hand spun or weaving with it or using it was really overspun and overplied and dense. And the most important thing I ever did was start using it. And I'm still working on it. Like, I knit pretty exclusively with hand spun and learn, with this type of fiber, I need to do this instead. Shush.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't artificially...
I thought I was doing so well.
Amy says, so I love plying 2-ply. I appear to be in the minority for that. No, I exclusively do 2-ply.
You're also a weaver.
She's also a weaver. Yeah, and I enjoy doing chain plying. But I actually really like the mindless nature of doing a two-ply.
Okay, also, your guys' like two-ply is like two-ply worsted. When I'm spinning two-ply, it's usually for weaving, and it's usually cotton, which needs to be at an almost 45-degree angle of twist and is like lace weight.
Yeah. Okay. No wonder you want the fast speed then.
Yes.
Yeah. Crush Melina says, I enjoy plying. It's kind of zen. Yeah, I mean, that's
I love it for sweaters and like 3-ply. Like, give me some like DK weight or higher to ply, and I'm a happy person.
My favorite thing is getting the angle on the Lazy Kate just right.
Oh, yeah.
And my hand and the right
so
amount
you're not
of
actually
tension
having to
where I'm
pull.
just treadling and it's going and it's got the right amount of pull and everything. And you got to adjust a little bit as the bobbin gets more and more full. But I adore just having that lazy zen moment. It only ever lasts for like...
Day 8 matches my bobbin.
A couple of minutes. It does. All right. So we'll go through the rest of the comments here. Joanne says, a lot of wobble. Yes, exactly what I'm experiencing. Make something to fix this and I'll buy it, Nick. Okay. I will say one thing you might want to try is getting the sort of rubbery liners for drawers or like a neoprene like mouse pad type thing. That might absorb some of the vibration and give it a little bit more more hold. I don't know how much wobble we're talking about, so I don't know how much that's going to help.
It's
the best thing is
it's
a
the
clamp.
fact that it's not centered. It's the actual flyer. Like the
weight on the flyer, yeah.
I'll demonstrate to Nick what the problem is.
You know, one thing that we did see often with one of the wheels a while back was when the flyer had there was a flyer that had the clips,
the sliding hooks. If you don't match them,
if you don't match the weight, that can cause a lot of wobble too. So even if you're not using the hook on one of the arms, just having it there for the matched weight will reduce wobble.
Yeah, but with the type of setup with the flyer design, it's not a good flyer design. It's inherently off balance. So. Okay.
Michelle says, just saying my favorite takeaway so far is the pat the bunny technique for the bats. Yeah, it works great. Donna says, I agree. I do not like the jumbo flyer on the Lendrum. It works, but it has fits. I use it mostly for art yarn. Jean says, Jill, do you author books? How about a book on knitting with handspun, include technique patterns? I don't ask for much in your spare time. Yeah, no, I've been...
Step 1 was starting to teach. And starting to write. I don't think I've actually written anything on knitting with handspun. Imply.
Heather's reminding us to color our bags. And you brought a whole bunch of other pens. So
I did. I brought the collection.
Give me another green since you like to... There we go.
So it is in the long-term plan. I'm kind of hoping... But you guys keep me very busy making stuff, which I'm not complaining about. I like it because what I like the least is having to market myself and doing marketing. So you guys make it so that I don't have to do much marketing and I can mostly just make stuff, which makes me happy. But there's the hopes that perhaps when my children are a little bit older, I will get the chance to do some serious writing.
But you do writing.
I do writing.
You have multiple articles in Ply, right? So.
And if you have like a guild or a group of friends, and you want to, pay for me to come out and do classes for a weekend, I am open to that.
You're like this close to saying I do bar mitzvahs, right? Like.
That would be an awesome bar mitzvah.
Thank you, Heather, for reminding us to color the bags. And Jean says, thank you for posting the patterns when you can get to them. So here's, actually, do I have the right number of days now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I do. I know how to count.
Too. Hey.
Right. I'm not saying you don't.
All right. So, oh no. Stall.
Oh gosh.
I was at a party. I didn't look this up earlier.
I thought you did.
No,
Okay.
I did my German lesson instead.
Oh, Jane's saying don't tempt the Madison Spinner Guild with a weekend of teaching. I am totally tempting the Madison Spinner Guild because I went to Madison probably 20 years ago and I kind of love Madison. So you would not have to twist my arm very hard to get me to come out to Madison. And I know lots of you, and you guys are lovely. So.
Oh, you know what? I've got one that I wasn't going to do for last time, so I will use that one.
Oh, okay.
I'm making up a new one. Why shouldn't you brush your teeth with your left hand?
Because it just wouldn't be right.
Oh, that's a good answer. But no, because a toothbrush is much better. Thank you very much for joining us. I promise to come up with a dad joke before the end of the podcast.
Do his
next
homework
time. I'll do my homework.
Good night. See you guys tomorrow night.
Have a good night. Bye.